Good morning and welcome to the Transportation Disadvantage Coordination Board of Friday, October 13th, 2023. Again, can you give us a roll call, please?
Commissioner Myers.
Here.
Glenn Brown.
Here.
Deborah Knoll.
Mike Lacey in place.
Thank you. Artie Fryer. Craig Purcell is excused. David Newell.
Here.
Tracy, thank you. Emily Hugart.
Here.
Christina Melling.
Here.
Beth Pasek is also excused. Mark Harshberger. Deborah LaKenta. Jennifer Waskovich.
Here.
Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes.
Thank you. Alexia Wiggins. Councilman Schisler.
Here.
Kristen Thomas. Megan Krieger. Indira Chambers. John Vargas. Cassandra Blaylock is also excused. Jerry Stickney.
Here.
And Karen Smith. Okay, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 8. I'm showing 8 in person. Is that correct?
Yes,
We do not have an in-person quorum.
correct. Thank you so much. I'm told we have no public comments. Do we have anyone online here with public comments? Just want to verify.
Not that I'm seeing.
Okay. We cannot approve our minutes. We cannot at this time discuss the action items. So we're going to go to the status report and hopefully a couple of our board members will join us so we can take care of the business at hand today. Jerry?
Thank you, Commissioner. Good morning, everyone. Jerry Stickney with Sunshine Line. So for those in the room, I handed out our operating statistics for the past month, a couple months since we've been here. We'll walk through this real quick. Our trips are increasing, steady around that 8,500 mark. So the trips for the month, so we're increasing there. Our clients served are remaining that 1,700 to 1,800, just depending on the month. We had a 91.5% on time for performance for September, 94% for August. And then our bus trips, I went ahead and added this line in. We've had the bus passes issued, but with the correlation of depending on single day tickets or if it's a monthly pass, the correlation how many trips that equates to. So I went ahead and added that in for this one, so I'll keep that moving forward, just so you can see what that kind of equates to throughout the last few months. And then our calls answered, you'll see we had a pretty quick drop down from the 97% down to 92 in September, and then the whole time at 32 seconds to 91. In that August-September timeframe, I've lost 3 call center representatives. 1 retired, 1 left the state, and 1's been out on leave. So we've still within our measurables and what our guidance is, but again, the average hold time for our standard at TDSP is 120 seconds, we're at 91, and then answers at 90%, we're at 92. Still performing as expected, but not where we want to be. So good news is since September, since that closed, we've hired 2 customer service reps. 1's fully trained and working. The other is in her first week of training right now. So hopefully we will see that change and go back to kind of that normal dynamics of it. Our driver capacity, as it sits now, we're up to 89% driver capacity. We're at 83% with our last meeting. That's with people that are in onboarding right now. So we're moving forward. So hopefully we can continue that progression in that as well. And then right below here, I've got our TV Tampa Bay, our cross-county trip. So with this new year, with the ISD grant and the partnership with Pasco and Pinellas, we're doing cross-county trips, but not that in-county. I went ahead and left on the backside, just for everyone's knowledge, is the totals for last year when we were doing this with the cross-county in-county. So I'm just going to leave that on here for the next few meetings, just for reference of how it went last year, and we can compare moving forward. So far for July and August, the 2 months, we've had a total of 77 trips. And again, I want to keep that Saturday trips in there. That's included in the total of the county trips. I know one of the weekend service in Establishment has something that we're continuing looking forward and trying to see how we can solve that. So keeping our eyes on what the need is and what we're seeing right now. So we're seeing it climb and getting back in. We've also added in our message of the day with our call center to let people know if you're interested in going cross county, talk to our reps. And we've seen that increase in August, so we're hoping to see that continue to flow as well. And the other last piece I have for our operational side, I talked about in our last meeting about electric vehicles that we were looking at. That's been approved, and timeline is very fast. We should have them before Thanksgiving. So we have 3 of 4 Transit Sprinter vans that we're going to be testing and piloting out, and those should be here by Thanksgiving. So if we get them in and they're graphic and all that fun stuff, maybe we can do a little show and tell. We can have one outside for our next meeting in December. So if not the next one after that, as soon as they're ready, we'll be able to look at that. I'm very excited about that process. We're also looking at replacing some of our big buses, which right now with capacity, with mileage, with gas prices, everything, looking to go to a couple different Ford Transit models as well, replacing some of the larger vehicles. So we'll be looking at that. Capacity goes from about 9 versus the 12. But when we're doing shared ride, we're averaging 4 to 5 on the bus at a time. So unless we're doing our group trips, we're going to be able to sustain it. We'll still always have our big buses to compare, but we're kind of just looking at some of that. If you're interested, kind of see what that looks like. I've got one little pamphlet and brochure here after the meeting if you want to look at it. It's Ford Transit van, has wheelchair securements, it has the lift. I think it's going to work really well, especially our tight areas throughout the county. And so a lot of good things moving, and that's where we're at right now. Pending any questions?
Any questions?
I got a question for you.
Yes.
I'm really glad to see your capacity is growing.
Mhm.
Are you able to meet the needs of getting adult daycare and nutrition, meal-side clients to the aging services?
Yeah, month after month, the totals are growing. The one thing we're working on right now with this next crew of drivers is the Waimama location that's fresh. So we're going to be looking to send people down there, and that's where we're going to be staffed at. In fact, I'm looking to see about partnering with aging services and healthcare and Suncoast if we could even park at that site. So we can have 2 vehicles there that we can kind of dedicate for that as well. So month after month, it's increasing, and
So there are some clients still waiting to get access to those sites.
absolutely. Like I said, we're growing month to month as we can fit in.
Next meeting, I think it would be helpful if I could get a report on the numbers of clients waiting to access transportation to get those sites, just so I can have a little better pulse on it.
Okay, absolutely.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
Go ahead. Kind of give one. So with APD, this would be the 3rd iteration. I think I've said this before of like the cross-county transportation thing. And I know a lot of our population is very suspicious on if this is going to last. And because of that, they are not getting jobs in other counties because it's happened now twice before where they got a job in another county, the program lost funding, they then had to quit that job. So I just know, like, not that we're advising this, but I know that's the input I've been given, is that they want to see if this is extended beyond, 1 year before they kind of will rely on this to have a job in a different county. That's what a lot of our folks use it for, to work in a different county and then use this to get to and from their job.
Yes.
To that point, what is the main funding source for that?
So it's with the ISD Innovation Grant. Pinellas County applied for it jointly last year collectively with 3 counties. So it's with a grant with the CTD at the state for the innovation. So my goal, and that's why I'm being really on top of tracking the numbers and what we're doing to see what we can do. We have it through this next grant year, so it's hopefully getting something in place that can sustain it. And that's my goal for this coming grant year. So it's through the state, but we're looking at what we have in our current budget that can sustain it long term. So that would be our TD trust fund or the general funds that we have to be able to support.
Do we need to go back to BOCC and see what they can do for us, or some kind of, to your point, like, it's critical. It's only going to be 1 year. Why should I bother taking a chance because we're going to be stuck? So what can we do as a board to assist in securing long-term funding for that?
So one thing that I am looking at is with our decision units for next year, looking at what that might do. At this point, to be honest, I'm just gathering a bunch of information to try to get an idea of what the need is and how we even look to sustain it, what the capacity is. But I mean, Mike brings up a great point. The numbers aren't going to go up because people know they're not going to be sustained. So I wish I had a better answer for it, but right now I'm really just in that reviewing and trying to figure it out phase, to be honest.
But we're here to help. So, whatever we need to do, whether it's leading the VOCC or going to the state, assisting with the grant procurement for future years.
Yeah, perfect. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Thank you, Jared, for a wonderful report. Hart? Good morning.
Morning. It's there. Hi, good morning. Chair Myers, members of the board. My name is Jesus and I'm with HART. And I'm going to present an update on HART Plus, which is our ADA paratransit service offering. We look at two metrics in broadly speaking. First, on-time performance. Over the last 3 months, we've been in the 90s. You can see a little decrease as we go into school season because of more traffic and higher ridership. There's also the pickup on-time performance. So you can see that as we go into school season, there are more trips and there are more late trips as well because of delays and higher ridership. Looking at ridership more specifically, you see how into school season we have more trips, especially the subscription trips, because those are our passengers that they sign up for to be picked up at a specific time every day. We have the cancellation and no-shows, a little bit of an increase as we go into the school season. And the last meeting, there was an interest in how long our passengers are on the vehicle, because there's been concerns about passengers driving all around the county. So that's why I brought this table up. So these are the trips that took longer than 1 hour. So you can see they increased in August and September, again, more delays. If it takes longer than an hour, it doesn't necessarily mean that the passenger is riding without a destination. It could mean that it's a long trip, like from South County to Town and Country or something like that. But sometimes it does mean that they're stuck while they're dropping off other people. So you can see it's out of the tens of thousands of trips we offer every month. It's not that many, but it does happen. Lastly, we have our Yellow Cab contract. They work with us. We use them as an overflow mechanism, and it's also our same-day offering. And you can see how trips have increased into school season because there's more traffic. People are back from vacation. With that, I'd be happy to take any questions or comments.
Do you have any questions? I just have one, and I know you centered everything around the schools, but do y'all plan to allow that time, since we know all the schools have opened back up as of August, without the clients being delayed? Do you build that in so that the client would not have to be on the bus for a long period of time?
I have Sherna Wilburn, who is the manager of van operations with me.
Okay.
She can help out.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So when it comes to the school trips, yes, we do take that into consideration, but sometimes, I'm sure with other agencies, then we come into our resources at HART, drivers booking off. We do have a lot of folks that have kids, so then we have the driver shortages where they're booking off and taking time off, and also as far as, vacations and stuff like that during that time. But we do currently have a couple of paratransit classes going to help with the delays, get new drivers out on the road, and also we're looking at new vehicles as well to assist with that.
Good.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you so much. Thank you for your report.
Thank you.
Okay, we still don't have a form, we just have one more, we need 10. Am I correct? 10. Okay. We're gonna move right to old business and new business.
All right, perfect. So, good morning, everyone. I'm Wally. I just want to go ahead over some new business. Well, this is kind of technically some old business, but I just want to touch on the importance of quorum. First off, I want to thank each and every one of you that did show up. It means a lot to me. You know, we do have a lot of action items. The fact that you guys make the effort to show up, I'm greatly appreciative of it. So thank you for that. Last meeting, Commissioner Myers had stated that we are moving towards doing things in person. So that is the expectation for voting members to be here every 2 months so that we can discuss action items and move things forward. So I also want to kind of, I guess since I am the main line of communication as the liaison with TPO, with TDCB, I wanted to just kind of maybe create an open discussion to see what I can do, because I take full responsibility when there is a quorum, because I am, you know, in charge of making sure that people do show up. So I want to create this open line of communication where we can discuss, or maybe I can do a better job being more proactive and keeping you all up to date on what's going on with TPO and making sure that we're, you know, in constant communication, not just me sending out an email every 2 months saying, hey, we're in a meeting. So I want to kind of, you know, get some feedback on that, because I do believe that we all play an important role, and you know, I think what we do is important. So yeah, I just want to go ahead and maybe open up that for some discussion.
Thank you. Any comments?
I can.
Yes.
So I sit on multiple counties TPOs. I know some of the more rural counties will often have this problem. And they usually enact a rule where if a member misses so many meetings, that it'll automatically go to a vote to remove them. It's usually the 2 or 3 meetings within the year. And that, like, I know for Passville in particular, that did, like, all of a sudden that is, you know, every seat is full now, where before it was usually 3 or 4 of us.
It works.
Yeah, to go on with that, you can also, you know, reach out to those that miss every once in a while to say, you know, we just need relook at who your backup is, your alternate, right? And, you know, that's an option here for pretty much every seat. So, you know, like I'm here as an alternate as well, and that's fine. But, you know, so I would reach out to everybody, especially if they're missing, just say, can you give me somebody else, you know, that might be able to in your set.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
And then, yeah, so I also want to announce that last August meeting was Allison's last meeting with the TDCB. She has accepted a role, a new position with the Federal Highway Administration. So she is resigning from the position. She's been with the TPO for over 18 years. And unfortunately, she could not be here with us today. So she left me a statement to read to her. So I want to go ahead and read it. So Allison said, "Dear members of the TDCB, I will be leaving the TPO at the end of October to focus on resilient transportation planning and wanted to thank you all for your hard work on behalf of the transportation disadvantaged community in Hillsborough County and the greater Tampa Bay area. It's been a pleasure and honor to work with all of you for the past 18 years in one capacity or another to improve transportation in Hillsborough County. So moving forward, please reach out to me. I will be the main point of contact. I do realize that now that both Josh and Allison are gone, I do have big shoes to fill. So, but very grateful that I've known them both, worked alongside them. So, again, like I said last week, I'm super excited for this role, and hopefully we can do a lot of great things. So. And then the next item is, as many of you know, our current executive director, Beth Alden, is retiring in November. Last month, the Transportation Planning Organization did an extensive search to find her replacement. And as some of you may have heard about the news, they named, and I would like to introduce, he's here with us today, the newly appointed executive director of the TPO, Johnny Wong.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioner, Chair. Good morning, TDCB. I'm Johnny Wong. As Wally introduced, I am going to be taking Beth's position effective next Monday. I just came by to introduce myself and let you know that I'm looking forward to continue attending these meetings, maybe chatting with you all one-on-one. My goal now is to first allow Wally to get his feet established in this role. He's definitely got the skill set and the passion to facilitate these conversations about much needed investments to facilitate TD travel. I myself will be attending these meetings moving forward so that I can better understand your needs and looking to continue that open dialogue about what TPL staff can do to support you all and what I can communicate to the board for addressing some of these needs. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, and again, congratulations on being the new executive director, PPO.
And then I also wanted to make announcements as well. Kristen Thomas, who's been a voting member for the TDCB, representing local veterans, has assumed a new role at the VA. So moving forward, David Michaels, who is the mobility manager at the VA, will be assuming her role as the new voting member of the TDCB and rep for local veterans. So just thank you, Kristen, for coming. I just wanted to put that on the record. And then finally, I guess the last new item, as you can see here, I have, we created a new flyer. It's a TD 101, it's an info sheet. So we've been working extensively on the Ride Guide, making sure that that information is up to date and current so that those who use it can easily access the information that and resources that we provide in the county. So this is just a simple 101, kind of letting everyone know what we do and what we're about. And then it has the Sunshine Line Park Plus numbers on it as well. And then we went ahead and added the QR code that will take you to to our website, which will have the updated ride guide. And then there's also a URL in case someone doesn't have a smartphone. I encourage you guys to print as many as you need. I will send out a PDF copy of this at the end of our meeting. So that way you can print out as many as you need. And the next meeting, we will have the ride guides printed out. And then you guys can take as many as you need. I just think this would be kind of a cool, neat way to just, put our resources and information out there. No, that's it.
Well, I don't want to call for enjoyment now. We can wait at least 10 minutes, see if we have someone to show up. For action item, 10 minutes. We'll recess for 10 minutes.
If I could add, so I know we can't vote on it today, but we would have, on the nature of alternates, we'd like to have Eugenia Joseph added as another alternate for APD. She'll be part of our, transportation and community team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, that's. I'll get to you. Yeah, that's fine.
Good morning, my name is Suzanne Monk. I'm with the I am the government liaison for Hillsborough TPO, and I'm going to be
Is the mic on? It's barely hear you.
give you a presentation on the tentative work program. Says it's on. It's green.
Can you text them and
Yeah.
turn the volume on?
So I'm going to be presenting the tentative work program public hearing report, which is fiscal year 25 through 29. The work program is a 5-year plan that includes public transit, seaport, airport, rail projects, transportation planning, ITS, highway design, right-of-way, and construction activities. I'm going to apologize. We took our animation and tried to fix it after the last board meeting, so it's a little bit different this year. But this is the same slide. Every year on June 30th, the current year of the work program ends. On July 1st, year 2 moves up to the new current year. And at this time, the new 5th year is added to the work program and funding is allocated to the next phase of the projects that are programmed. New projects are added in the new 5th year based on the FTP goals, statewide programs, and then local priorities. This is where we're at currently in the process. We're in the tentative work program. This presentation is going to outline the changes in the first 5 years of the program and any new projects in the 5th year. Go back. The proposed work program is submitted to the Florida legislature later in this year for review and then goes to the governor for review and signature, at which it's adopted by the governor when he signs it, and the first year will be included in the state budget and work program. It's considered adopted. So this will be adopted July 1st of 2024. So when looking at what projects we're going to program for the next 5 years in the tentative work program, we first look at preserving the existing programming, which would be any projects that have prior funding. So if we funded something that has a design, we look to fund that construction to make the project whole and keep the work program stable. And we also look to fund any kind of cost increases. This year, we are seeing a lot of cost increases due to price inflation. And so some of the projects you'll note, we've increased the funding on them due to the cost increases coming up on the projects. The second item that we look at would be to fund the next phases of the projects, like I said, and then third, we would look at adding any new projects, which would be where the TPO comes in with their list of priority projects and their applications. Programming strategies. So when we program, we're looking at the MPO's priorities, regional priorities for the SCTPA and the TMA, and then we also look at the FDOT and SIS priorities. Okay, so the next pages in this presentation are going to include new projects that are added, newly funded project phases, deferred projects, or any kind of projects of interest. So just as a caveat, if a project was previously programmed and it's not mentioned today, that just means there's no changes to it. It's still happening, it's still in there. These are just new projects, deferred, or any kind of changes. So first up, we have our planning slide, which goes ahead and lists out that we added planning funds for the TPO staff in fiscal year 29 for transportation planning. Next is the East Hillsborough County Transportation Update, which is a planning study that the department is going to handle and implement in fiscal year 25. And then a truck parking analysis that's going to look at surplus truck properties to better align with adding additional truck parking consistent with land use. And that will be in fiscal year 25 as well. And FDOT will be presenting that project. Next up is transit, Hart bus stop capital improvement repairs. We added, I believe it's 5 million or 2 million in fiscal year 29. And then bus replacements, we added a $5 million for the list of priority projects in fiscal year 29 as well. Next up is our operations. So Fletcher Avenue at 15th Street. This is actually, it says interchange, but it's an intersection improvement that Hillsborough County submitted for the county incentive grant program. And we were able to fund that in fiscal year 26. Next up, I-75 at Gibsonton Drive. This is the new diverging diamond interchange down in Gibsonton. We were able to fund the design last year, and this year we added right of way in fiscal year 25. Construction's not funded at this time, but we are looking to get that underway to provide some relief to the citizens down there. Next up is I-275 southbound off-ramp to I-4 from north of Florabraska to west of 21st Street. This is also an interchange improvement, and construction was added in 25. US 41 from south of Pendola Point to Denver Street. We are adding lanes and reconstructing, and right-of-way is currently under design, and right-of-way will be funded in fiscal year 27. Big Bend Road from US 41 to Covington Gardens. This is a transportation regional improvement program project that the SCTPA has high on their priority list. This will be the west end of the bookend. Last year, the east end bookend was programmed, and this will finish that corridor up. So the construction will go in fiscal year 26. Next up is Park Road at Cornet and Offabrook. This has been a priority. The next two have been priorities, I'd say probably the last four or 5 years. We actually are able to get the construction. We have the design programmed in 25, and we were able to get the construction for Plant City in fiscal year 29. We'll be making additions to their turn lanes for them. Same thing with East Alexander at Jim Johnson. Big priority for City of Plant City. We're going to be doing the construction to add turn lanes in fiscal year 29. Next up is State Road 60 at Horton Road. FDOT had a meeting with, I think it's Beesville community, and heard them out on a lot of improvements that they really felt that their community needed. And so the department will be adding an intersection improvement via a traffic light to that community. Design will be programmed in 27 and right of way in 29, and we're working on figuring out how much we need for construction to get out there and help those people in Beesville. US at Palm River Road. This was actually programmed last year, but Hillsborough County reached out for this intersection improvement and said, you know, can we work with you to advance the construction on this because it's needed. So we're going to advance it from 26 to 25. And then I-75 from south of Tampa Bypass Canal to south of Fowler Avenue. This is addition of auxiliary lanes that will be added and reconstruction there. This project was advanced to fiscal year 24. Just to note, there is no right-of-way on this. It's being done within the blueprint. And then the next one, I-75, 275, this is a collector distribution system road from south of County Line Road to County Line Road. So this is the Hillsborough piece of we're adding auxiliary lanes going southbound at the DDI at State Road 56 and 275 I-75. This is just for the piece that enters Hillsborough County. So Pasco will pay for the portion that's in Pasco. However, this is going to, we have one going northbound. We just need one that's going southbound. So the construction was actually currently moved out of the work program because of the SIS reprioritization. So still there, just in the outer years. The next couple, or this one, State Road 60 from Valrico to east of Dover. This was a priority couple years ago, and Hillsborough County asked that we drop this project from the work program, so construction has been dropped at this time. I-4 from westbound from east of Orient to west of I-75, we're adding auxiliary lanes. Right-of-way is not needed, so this cycle we were able to drop the phase on right-of-way from the work program, freeing up that money. And then State Road 60 at Brandon Boulevard at Valrico. This was an intersection improvement. The county reached out again, asked us to remove this project, drop it from the work program. They had higher priorities. Same thing with State Road 60, West Brandon, from Lakewood Drive to Mount Carmel. They asked us to remove that one as well. State Road 60, Brandon Boulevard at St. Cloud Avenue, same precedents. They had higher priorities that needed to be funded and needed money for. And then Palm River Road at US 41/50th Street is an intersection improvement that was funded last year. In order to advance another project, they asked that we defer this one out to 27. We were able to make that happen. Complete streets, this year McDill Avenue from West Kennedy Boulevard to West Main Street, urban corridor improvements by the city of Tampa. They submitted an application and we were able to fund the construction in fiscal year 29. And then Tampa Heights, Tampa Street, Highland Avenue, and Florida Avenue from MLK Boulevard to South of Waters, which is the Tampa Heights mobility plan. This is the next segment of that. We were able to add design money for the survey in fiscal year 25. We don't have design funded at this time, but we need to go out there and survey the land, try to get a better idea of what concept will work and what the impacts are. And then the last one for complete streets is North Park Road from US 92 to north of I-4. Those are some urban corridor improvements that have been added to the resurfacing project. So the project was a -2, it's been dropped, and then the urban corridor improvements have been added to the resurfacing project, and the construction for that one will be in fiscal year 25. Bike ped improvements, Fowler Avenue from 56th Street to east of I-75, which is a bike path/trail for city of Temple Terrace. It says construction added in 28. However, this was a increase on the construction costs. So money was added to supplement to make sure that we can go out to Temple Terrace and still produce this project. So there's that. And then Sun Trail awarded some money to the South Coast Greenway from Big Bend to Waterset Boulevard to Covington Garden. This is a ped overpass that will be constructed in fiscal year 29. And then Hillsborough County sidewalk gaps. The department partnered with the TPO to analyze the state roads that have sidewalk gaps. And the TPO provided us a list of their high injury networks. And so we're going to go through, we're currently going through those, identifying those, and we're going to design the sidewalk gaps according to the high injury network between fiscal year 29 or 25 and 29, and then go out and construct those on behalf of Hillsborough County in fiscal year 29. Also, a new addition was the Plant City Canal Connector Trail, Phase 1, which is a bike path and trail, and that's going to be added in, we're going to do some preliminary engineering in fiscal year 25. And then this one's for Commissioner Myers. US 41 Nebraska Avenue from Idlewild Avenue to Paris Street. We did have a resurfacing project in this area, and unfortunately, due to utility costs and utility schedules, we had to remove this mid-block crossing from the resurfacing project because it was going to delay it over a year or a year and a half. So we are going back. I know Commissioner Myers had called me about this. So we are going back. We're currently designing it for the mid-block crossing right there at the Publix, and we will be constructing it in fiscal year 25. Technology projects that were programmed this cycle: interstate wrong way driving vehicle detection systems, phase 2 and 3 were added in fiscal year 25 and 26. Plant cities priority and preemption deployment, which is ITS ATMS. Construction was added in 25. And then the I-275 Florida Regional Advancement or Advanced Mobility Elements, which is also known as FRAME. Construction or design was added in 26, construction in 27. And then the next couple are going to be traffic signals, whether we're upgrading the current traffic signals or mast arms, but we did go through and recognize that Fowler Avenue east of CSX Railroad to 22nd Street, we're going to go in and add some traffic signals within that corridor. Constructions have been added in 26. We are going to look to replace mast arms and possibly the signals at US 41, Lutz Lake Fern Road, Sunset Lane, Crystal River, and Crenshaw Lake Road. Also going to be looking at the traffic signals, getting traffic signals designed in fiscal year 29 for US 92, Hillsborough Avenue at 56, and Hardy. As well as US 92, Nebraska at Chapman. We're going to be adding design to do some traffic signals out there. And Nebraska at Bird and John Mabry at North Lakeview Drive. So all of those, the design was added in fiscal year 29, so we can go out there and meet those needs, figure out what we need and design them. So overall, the total funding over the 5 years is $1,633,000,000. As you can see, we kind of try to break it down planning wise, how much is coming out, 16 million, traffic operations, safety, 55 million. Bike ped and let me see. Bike ped and complete streets, just note that sometimes it's hard for us to capture the actual amount because some of those projects are programmed into the resurfacing project or other projects as well, so we can't really break out that amount. So we are doing more than the 40 million. It's just hard to really capture that data. So we're going to have our online public hearing and we'll provide you with a flyer. It was just given to us last night, so I apologize. It's an accelerated work program cycle. But we're going to have our online public hearing. It's a virtual room where you can go and review all the documents for the projects of the tentative work program. You can also go in and provide comments if you have any. October 23rd through 27th. November 13th, public comments are due. November 20th is the last day for MPO objections. And then early spring 2024, this goes and is reviewed by the legislator and the FTC. July 1st is the adoption of the actual work program. So also not included, I believe it's October 26th, we are having our public hearing for the online or for the tentative work program. So what that means is everyone's welcome to come into the district. Someone will be in there. If you have questions, you can write out your questions, provide them to us, or if you need help looking through documents and stuff like that. So we'll be open from 9 to 6 on October 6th or 26th for anybody that prefers that in-person connection. So with that, thank you so much, and we'll make sure that you get the flyer so that you can get all the information. And we just ask that any comment is great. So we appreciate that.
We appreciate your report. Have any comments, anyone? Councilman?
Curiosity. What is the current fiscal year level of funding / construction that is being planned? I'm assuming that's 24 or is it 25? Or
it's 24. Current year is 24. I wish I could speak to that, but I don't know. We have had an astronomical, so we're getting the same amount of money, but that money is not going as far because of the inflation. And especially with asphalt, the cost of asphalt has gone up so much, and that's like the backbone of most of our projects. Most of our projects have exceeded the cost estimates that we entailed. So I think right now we're not left with much. But we're working to figure out how we can do more with little. Does that make sense? And if I can reach out to the work program manager to see what it is that we have.
Well, my curiosity is that, what is our confidence level as to how much of the 24 funding? This is all well and good. I mean, so you got to play the sum. But again, this is just every year to be pushed out further and further and further. And it sounds good, but can't get it done. That to me is a problem. And it's a never ending problem because we can never get ahead of the curve. So I'm just curious as to what the confidence level is of current projects.
I think our confidence level is pretty high on the current level or the current work program projects. So I did mention how we do a cost update every year. And so we've already gone through that right before we did this. So we looked at all the current year projects and we look at them and we inflate them and try to figure out, how much. And then based on those cost estimates, that's the first piece of the pie that gets the money. So I know we're working really hard to get it done, but I haven't heard of anything really being delayed yet. I'm hoping that, we're not gonna have any hiccups.
It's trying to empty the swimming pool with the shovel.
No, I know. And I'm really hoping that the cost of inflation, like some of the cost estimates come down. We did have one that came in the other day and I want to say it was like $700,000 less. And it was like a big party all over the district because it was like, maybe this is going to be a trend. So I'm really hoping it is so that we can, get back to doing a lot of these projects in a timely manner.
Thank you.
So, you're welcome.
Anyone else? Thank you so much for your report. Have anything else?
Actually, I'm sorry, I did have kind of a question. It's parallel. It's just that you threw the word work in there and employment. Things are always on my mind. How many jobs are these projects providing, or do you guys keep any kind of record?
I'm really not sure because that's not my area of expertise. I know we do have a Tampa workforce where we're trying to get people around the Tampa Bay area employed with these type of projects so that we can employ and bring people in. But I don't have a work number. I could probably reach out to someone and see if I could get that for you.
It'd be kind of cool because that kind of does like get a little more interest in this, just another road and another few years of cones on the interstate.
Yeah.
But that affects families, children and things like that. So it starts to get into my area.
Okay.
Thank you.
Seeing no other comments, meeting is adjourned. Thank you all so much for coming this morning.
Thank you.